Well, in my quest to upgrade this old boat, I'm adding a GPS chart plotter and depth sounder. Now I chose Standard Horizon. They're well known in the boating community for their quality, dependability. Plus, I have first-hand knowledge with some of their products, and I've never been disappointed, always been happy with the results I get from them. The unit I'm installing is a CPF 190. It's got an internal GPS receiver, built-in charts, can work with C-MAP chips. With the transducer hooked up, it's also a depth sounder and can be a fish finder. That's a lot of great technology in a small package. Well, in the box are a couple of really handy reference pages. Of course, the manual, a quick guide, and a template if you need to mount this on a panel that actually sticks to the panel so you don't have to worry about taping it and hope that the tape doesn't move while you're cutting. These guys have thought of everything. Well, the most time-consuming part of this install was running the transducer cable from the bow to the cockpit, and that really wasn't that difficult. As I have a tiller, I'm close to the bulkhead, so I mounted it right up here on the swivel rather than inside. It can also be flush mounted, which may require an external GPS receiver. Well, I left some extra power cord here so that when I'm working on programming, I can sit right here and do it. I don't have to stand up and do it. And at this time, the charts that are built into this, they're more sufficient than I need. But I may get a C-MAP chip a little bit later, for a little more detail. Well, this unit is so easy to use with its intuitive pages. It's great. And we'll get into the operations in several other videos. But let's talk about installing the unit. Well, the first thing I did was to install the transducer. You can also get an in-hull transducer, one that just kind of sticks in there. However, since I already had a transducer on this boat, but it didn't work, I went for the through-hull type. Now there's a suggestion guide with the transducer as to where are some of the optimum places to place it. Mine was already picked and it was a great place. Sorry, I already tossed that out though. Now I had the yard haul the boat, and it needed a good prop cleaning anyway. And the old transducer came out very easy. However, I had to do a little work in getting the hole the right size. Now I used a high-strength, quick-cure fiber filler to fill in the gaps and make the backing plate level and secure. And that stuff is strong, but you got to work quick and plan ahead because you only have 10 minutes to work with it once you mix it up. The key here is to have the transducer level so it's not shooting out on all kinds of different angles. And then I used the quick cure version of the 5200, which is 4200. Now here's something to be careful of. Don't use acetone to clean the surface of the transducer, and don't use alcohol-based cleaners on the 4200 because that'll slow or even stop the curing process. So what I should have done is I should have covered the face of the transducer with tape. But no, I didn't. So I had to be very careful and clean the face with alcohol and the sides with acetone. Now this should sit for at least 24 hours before going back in the water. And this was fine because that gave me time to run the wires and hook up the unit. Now Standard Horizon GPS chart plotters are able to hook up to your VHF, so your DSC, digital selective calling, can be transmitted in case of an emergency. Of course, now your VHF has also got to be able to accept that signal. And there are setup menus on the GPS and your VHF radio on how to do this. The Standard Horizon cables that come with the unit have all the required wires. And in the book here, it's very easy to understand wiring instructions. But for right now, I just hooked up the power. The unit can also be connected to an autopilot, speed log, wind, instruments, radar within the US, AIS receiver, your computer, and much more. Now, when wiring the unit's power source, it's recommended to go directly as possible to the power source. So I hook the unit right to my battery. But it's important to install the safety fuse that comes with this to help protect your unit. You know, this was the easiest item I've had to install on this boat, and one of the most important items, I think. Now, I recommend taking some time actually reading, or at least looking through, the information book. Although, if you're vaguely familiar with how chart plotters work, your learning time will be very short. Standard Horizon technicians have made this extremely easy and user-friendly and intuitive. You know, when you turn the unit on, the GPS signal is picked up almost instantly. It's very quick, and the detail is very good. Look, here I am, right in the slip where I should be. I would also recommend practicing all the main functions in good weather, so when things get a little dicey, you can operate the unit without really thinking, just instinctively doing it. Now, in our next video, we'll do a little route planning, as that's one of the main things you're probably going to use. So whether you're thinking of upgrading or adding a new GPS chart plotter to your unit, think Standard Horizon. They've got the technology in place to make it fun on the water.